Morning light slides down glass and brick, catching on water towers and fire escapes as New York wakes to an ordinary Monday it will later remember in impossible detail. Our narrator is 32, a legal assistant in a midtown firm, living in a walk-up on the Lower East Side. They are not important to anyone but the people who know them. A roommate, a mother in Queens, a barista who knows their order. Their life is a collage of subway transfers, copy machines, and the small private negotiations of city living. The alarm goes off at 6:45 a.m., a tinny radio voice cutting through the hum of the window unit. Outside, a delivery truck idles, backing up with a slow, repetitive beep. The apartment smells faintly of last night's garlic and the sharper scent of coffee grounds waiting in the machine. Pipes knock in the walls as someone upstairs starts a shower. Our narrator lies still for a moment, listening to the city's layered sound. A siren far off, a dog barking, the low, constant rush of traffic on the avenue. They dress in clothes that already feel slightly wrinkled. Navy slacks, a pale shirt, shoes with worn insoles. The television flickers in the background, morning news cycling through weather, sports, and a brief mention of something happening far away in a place that does not seem to touch this kitchen table. Toast pops up, butter softens into it. The coffee is too hot, sipped anyway. They check their watch, then the clock on the microwave, then their watch again. On the street, the air is cool but already heavy with exhaust and the smell of hot oil from a corner breakfast cart. A bus sighs as it kneels for passengers. A man in a Yankees cap sells newspapers, the headlines about local politics and the end of summer. The narrator buys one out of habit, folds it under their arm, and descends into the subway, where the air thickens and warms, carrying the scent of metal, dust, and something damp that never quite dries. The platform is crowded with the choreography of a Monday morning. A woman balances a coffee and a briefcase. Teenagers in oversized backpacks cluster near a pillar, their voices bouncing off tile. An MTA announcement crackles overhead, half swallowed by the roar of an approaching train. When the doors slide open, everyone presses in, adjusting bags and elbows without speaking. The narrator grips a metal pole, cool and sticky at once, and watches the tunnel lights strobe across faces, tired, bored, already somewhere else in their minds. Up to this point, the day is nothing but routine. At the office, fluorescent lights hum above gray cubicles. The air smells faintly of toner and the citrus cleaner the night crew used hours earlier. Someone has left a box of donuts on a filing cabinet, the glaze already turning slightly hard. The narrator boots up their computer, the fan whirring, the monitor ballooning from black to blue. Email fills the screen, meeting reminders, document revisions, a note from a partner asking for a brief to be printed and bound by noon. Phones ring in uneven patterns. A copier starts, stops, starts again. Down the hall, someone laughs too loudly at a joke. The narrator moves through tasks, highlighting, stabling, walking stacks of paper to a conference room with a long, polished table that reflects the overhead lights. Outside the windows, Midtown's vertical grid rises and falls. Glass, stone, brick, and the occasional rooftop garden, invisible from the street. The city feels solid, almost permanent. At lunch, they walk to a deli that knows their order before they speak. The line snakes between coolers of bottled drinks and shelves of chips. The air is thick with the smell of sliced meats, vinegar, and hot soup. Behind the counter, a man calls out names, building sandwiches in a practiced rhythm. The narrator takes their food to a small park where office workers sit on benches, jackets off, ties loosened. Pigeons patrol the ground, hopeful. Overhead, the sky is a flat, uncomplicated blue. In the afternoon, the light shifts, turning the office windows into mirrors. The narrator's reflection hovers over the cityscape as they talk on the phone with their mother, who reminds them about a family gathering next weekend. They nod, though she cannot see it, and promise to bring dessert. A coworker stops by to complain about the subway, about rent, about the rising cost of everything. They share a brief conspiratorial smile. This is what it means to live here, to be always slightly tired and always slightly in love with the place that exhausts you. The workday ends not with a single moment, but with a gradual thinning of noise. Chairs roll back, computers shut down with soft chimes. The narrator lingers, finishing one last email, then steps out into streets that feel different in the evening, edges softened, lights beginning to bloom in windows. They walk downtown, choosing to skip the subway for a few stops, passing storefronts where mannequins stand frozen in fall clothes, restaurants where tables are being set with silverware that clinks softly against tabletops. They meet a friend at a bar in the East Village, where the air smells of beer, citrus wedges, and old wood. Music plays, just loud enough to make conversation lean in close. They talk about nothing urgent, a movie they want to see, a coworker's new haircut, a vague plan to maybe change jobs someday. Someone at the bar mentions a news story about something overseas. It drifts through their conversation and away again, not anchoring to anything in their immediate lives. From here on, the night narrows. The narrator walks home under streetlights that pool yellow on the sidewalk. A cyclist glides past, a delivery bag strapped to their back. A couple argues softly at a corner, their words indistinct. In the distance, the skyline rises, familiar and reassuring, its shapes so constant they barely register as individual buildings anymore. Windows glow in patterns, offices still lit, apartments with televisions flickering blue against curtains. Back in the apartment, the roommate is on the couch, half watching a sitcom rerun. The laugh track spills into the small living room, mixing with the faint hiss of the radiator. They talk about the day, about a neighbor's new dog, about whether to order takeout or finish leftovers. The choice lands on leftovers. The microwave hums, the refrigerator door suction pops open and closed. They eat from mismatched plates, the television now on a late-night talk show, the host making jokes about politics and celebrities. Before bed, the narrator stands at the window for a moment, looking down at the street. A taxi's headlights sweep across the building opposite, briefly illuminating a row of potted plants on a fire escape. Somewhere, a car alarm chirps and then silences. The air through the cracked window smells faintly of asphalt and something metallic. They think about the week ahead, deadlines, a dentist's appointment, maybe a movie on Friday if they can get tickets. Later, in the dark, the city's sounds filter through thin walls, a truck shifting gears, a distant shout, the low, constant rush that never fully stops. The narrator drifts towards sleep with a mental list of small tasks for tomorrow, emails to send, a shirt to pick up from the dry cleaner, a call to return. The clock on the bedside table glows a soft, insistent green, marking off minutes in a room that feels safely ordinary. History will remember the next morning by its exact timestamps, by images replayed until they blur. But this day, this September 10th, will live mostly in fragments. The taste of coffee too hot, the weight of a newspaper under an arm, the feel of a subway pole in a crowded car. For the narrator, and for millions of others, it is simply a Monday that ends like so many before it, without ceremony, without warning, without any sense that the shape of their city is about to change. In the archive, this day sits as a quiet reel, a record of routines, of unremarkable choices, of people moving through streets they believe they know. The skyline outside that apartment window will not look the same for long. The routes to work, the way sirens sound, the feel of security lines and ID checks, these will all shift in subtle and not so subtle ways. But none of that has arrived yet. Here, in these final hours, New York is still the city it has been for years, breathing in and out, unaware of the moment that waits just beyond the edge of this night. This is one moment in a longer archive of cities shaped by time.